Welcome. This is JD with JD's Barbecue and Bourbon. Joining me today as I make this Cubano sandwich. Delicious, smoky, cheesy. Don't want to miss it. So first, why am I making this sandwich? It's because I ordered one from a national chain and it was just awful. So I thought I can do much better than that. So here, I'm just going to show you how I do mine, but I'm going to do it with some added smoke flavor. Okay, the first thing we need to do here is we're going to take our pork butt, we're going to get it dried off. Just rub your butt with a towel, get all the sides. Don't worry, I do wash my hands between every take here, so don't worry about that. We're just going to cut off any junk hanging off because it's just going to burn anyway. And we'll get some salt on this. Go quite heavy with our seasoning. We're only going to do salt and pepper, and if you can over season your pork butt, then you're using way too much seasoning. Pork butt can take a lot of salt and pepper and whatever other flavors you want to put on it. And just some 16 mesh black pepper here. Again, we're going to go heavy. I'm not going to worry about overdoing it. Make sure we get the sides here. Yes, I do catch that little bald spot here later on. And let's get some flavor deeper in. We're going to score pretty deeply into the fat cap, into the meat, in a crosshatch pattern. So both directions and a diagonal. And we're going to separate these cuts, and we're going to get some seasoning down into the cuts just to make sure we got flavor all the way down. And we'll speed you along here. You've probably seen this a couple hundred times already. Get our pepper put on, and then once all this is done, we're going to put this in the fridge overnight, and we'll bring you back tomorrow. All right, first thing we need to do is get our charcoal lit. I'm just going to use the sous vide gun here real fast. And I need to clean the inside of this thing out. It's supposed to be white inside, not this black. So maybe one of these days I'll do a video on getting that cleaned. All right, and once everything is turned nice and white and red, we're going to turn our gun off. Get everything closed down to let the dome heat up. And here I'm going to put some cherry wood in the bottom tray here. That'll just get some smoke flavor on the pork butt. All right, now we're going to get our slow roller base put in, and then get the top of our slow roller on the base. I'll eventually get it to seat correctly. There we go. All right, and our 3-tier accessory rack. Little ring support. I don't know why I always struggle to get this thing in there, but yeah, getting those little pegs in the holes, it's a hard one. And our stones for more heat deflection. And if you have one, you gotta have the other. Then I just have a drip tray here with some foil. Just get that put on. And one cooking rack. And the other cooking rack will be here in just a second. Okay. Now that everything's on there, get it closed down, let all this stuff come up to temp, and we'll bring the pork butt out. And this is what works for me for 275, is just open the top, just past that first line. You should be able to barely get your finger in there. And then at the bottom, about a 1-inch gap. That'll set you about 275. Let's go ahead and get our pork butt put on. See here, I got my meter probe sticking in about the middle. All right, shut her down, and I'll bring it back later. And if you're thinking about getting a meter probe, here is just what setting it up. You just click the probe you're using. So set up a cook on 4, what type of meat you're doing. Just pick that. I picked a shoulder steak instead of a pork butt, but whatever. And just set your target temp and hit start cook. And it'll let you know that you have your phone muted and it's not going to work well, but it'll work anyway. Okay, about 2.5 hours in, you can see my meter graph. It hit 275 and just sat there until I opened it. Okay, let's go ahead and get this opened up. Take a look at it. Got a little bit of pooling here from the fat rendering. Just make a little slit in that and it'll get rid of all the pooling. A little quick flyover so you can see the color and what everything's looking like. It's nice red color forming on there from the smoke. All right, let's get this shut down and I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, here at the 4-hour mark, I'm gonna start adding this mojo marinade to the top. Just give it a quick shake. And we're going to dump it in a bowl just so there's no cross-contamination, even though later on I just started dumping it over the top instead. Get our bad boy opened up here. Really nice color on there. Start by just dabbing it on. And you'll see here in a second, I think this is dumb, and we just start dumping. Yeah, there's my way. All right, so I'm just going to repeat this about every hour until we're out of our marinade. And actually, at the end here, I did inject about a quarter of it into the middle of the pork butt. All right, and you can see here at the 4-hour mark, we're also completely out of wood, so I'm going to dump the ash in my little fireproof bucket here, and we'll add some more wood chips. All right, now that that's filled back up, we'll slide that back in. We'll get our inlet door shut down. And I'm just going to keep repeating this process until we're at 200, 203, and I'll bring you back whenever it's time to pull our pork apart. All right, this all finished up. Several hours later, get our meter probe taken out. No one wants to be eating that. Start pulling this apart. Get this bone taken out. Speed you through the shredding process. Beautiful color on that. Little bit of mustard here. Just use normal American mustard. Don't need to be fancy with this. And this is just Italian bread. I know it's not the right bread. It's just what I could find at the store. Throw some pieces of ham that were in their fridge. Normally I would use Black Forest ham or even a spiral cut ham. 2 pieces of some Swiss cheese. 2 dill pickles. Now we're going to throw some of this delicious pulled pork on here. Let's do quite a bit of pulled pork because we have a tiny panini press that I'm sure isn't going to do very well. I need to get one of those bigger panini presses for sandwiches like this. And we'll just give that a nice smush down so it fits better. Let's try to get this sandwich on here. Takes me a couple attempts, but eventually we get it. There we go. 3 minutes later, a delicious Cubano sandwich. If I had a bigger press, it wouldn't be squirting all over the place like that, but it is what it is. Get this taken off here. And a nice big cut into it. Here in a second, I guess. There we go. And the cross section. Yeah, this is truly a delicious sandwich. Much better than the one I had from the National Sandwich Shop. Hey, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in the next one. Be sure to check out this other amazing video.